We will onboard Ron Magill here in just a few minutes. I am still watching First Take on the televisions in here, Stugotz, and I should clarify, I didn't mean to suggest surprise that Udonis Haslem is good at being on First Take. I'm surprised he wants to do it. I'm surprised that he wants anything to do with arguing in public or giving fiery sports opinions.
To me, it's like relevancy, right? It's just kind of like keeping your name. Like you just retired. You're probably feeling like, what am I going to do now? Maybe just dipping the toe in, trying it out.
It's a business move for his podcast, and you're exactly right. It's the way, and it's smart of every athlete who's using it this way. It's how J.J. Redick and Kendrick Perkins and the rest are using ESPN to their advantage as all of ESPN changes. Kendrick Perkins has just said on First Take that he has the biggest regret of his media career has happened recently. Do you guys want to take a guess on what Kendrick Perkins is saying is the biggest regret of his entire media career?
He revealed he was on Ozempic.
He revealed that he voted for Rudy Gobert for Defensive Player of the Year.
Oh, no.
What are we doing,
And
Rudy?
he is saying that Rudy has tarnished the Defensive Player of the Year award.
He voted.
And he is saying that he regrets voting for Gobert because Gobert, and this one is an interesting phrasing on this sentence, and it's accurate, is not respected by his peers.
No one likes that guy.
It's weird, huh?
Yeah. Well, no, it's not really. I get it.
It's weird.
No, I don't like him either.
He's the 4-time Defensive Player of the Year. Ben Wallace is not seen as someone who is to be laughed at as the 4-time Defensive Player of the Year, but people are laughing at Rudy Gobert. It's weird. What's weird to see is I know this person is excellent at defense, but the game has changed so much as to render him somebody that we're now laughing at.
Yeah, but do you like him? Because I don't like him.
Do you?
I like his excellence.
Well,
Do you like him? No.
Ruining the world?
No,
Sounds like you don't like him.
No,
I mean, jeez.
What are you
What kind of
talking
answer
about?
is that?
Like,
He asked you
excellent.
he asked you a direct question. Do you like Rudy Gobert?
His
Bending
hair
over
is small.
backwards.
I don't know him. I'm not.
Do you like him?
I don't.
I know him plenty.
I spend
Don't like
next to no time
He's French.
on this.
I mean, that's working against him. big
Donna
time.
tried to tell us.
I spend next to no time at these microphones telling you I like or dislike people. Me and Reale have been making fun of 20 years of broadcast television. Tony Reale of, is he a bad guy or a good guy? Like, that guy's a bad guy. Like, I hate those character defining things.
Me too. I genuinely don't like to do that. So when it comes to Gobert, I don't like him.
Right. Do you?
I'm not going to do that to people.
I like of one.
Give me all the people
Trying to
that you
sneak it
think I have said over at this microphone. I like or I dislike that
It's not
person.
many. It's not many, but he certainly
Right.
he finds a way in that conversation.
Here is somebody
We'd
that
all understand is what we're trying to say.
Yeah,
Dan.
come on.
Right.
I don't want to give you permission to do that, to dislike someone you don't actually know. I don't want to give you permission to do that. I mean, it's irresponsible way to use the microphone.
Dan, being a hater is so fun. It is the reason I wake up in the morning. You gotta try it
water's
out.
nice.
It's okay to hate.
Yeah.
He makes a crap ton of money. It's okay.
Yeah, and this is a rare time where you don't feel like you're on an island. If you speak into a microphone and say you don't like Rudy Gobert, it's such a welcoming party.
It's how I feel about Jennifer Lopez.
Yep. Yeah. Say it, Dan.
Here is someone that everyone likes, Ron Magill. I remind you again that his substantive endowment has no bureaucracy in it. So if you just want to help the animals, Ron Magill, go to the internet, find his endowment.
I bet you Ron doesn't like Rudy Gobert.
Ron, do you like or dislike Rudy Gobert?
Don't know him, so I can't say.
Oh, jeez.
That's a good attitude, but not anyone here is
That make
endorsing that attitude. Yeah, it makes sense, but everyone here feels licensed to hate even if they don't know
guys hear me?
somebody. Yes, we
Yeah.
can
We
hear
heard
you.
you,
Yes,
yes,
we
yeah.
heard you.
I'm
Yes.
not happy with what I heard. But,
Are you guys hanging me out to dry again? Are you playing like you don't hear
Okay,
me?
he
and
can't
I'm
hear
talking
us.
to myself?
Turn him
okay.
down because he
Okay,
can't
see-
hear us, but we can indeed hear him, and his confusion in not being able to hear us is not helpful. We have an assortment of video to play for Ron Ron Magill?
He heard the question, though, about Gobert. I mean,
Do you
That
like
part
Gobert?
is weird.
I don't understand what happened
He
there.
said no.
Ron, can you
He
now?
said no. His eyes said no.
You cannot hear us now. You heard the question,
Oh,
but
I heard you now. Now I hear you. But I
Okay.
think you guys see. I don't know whether you guys are playing games with me or not because you like to jerk me around a lot. So I don't know if you're playing games. You say,
Whoa.
okay, guys, everybody, be quiet now. Like we don't hear him, and then talk, but don't make any sound, so it looks like he doesn't hear us.
What if today he's playing a joke on
Ron,
us?
I
Wow.
understand
Next
why
level.
our general incompetence would be something that surprises you and that you distrust. But I am promising you, this is not a sinister strategic orchestration to bother you. It's just we're not very good at a lot of things around here. And so the professional broadcast is sometimes not what it should be. Let's play for Ron a couple of whale watching videos. There are two.
cut out again?
There are
You
two.
cut out again. I just see Dan moving his lips.
Okay.
I did there you go. You're back again, Dan.
There are
You're
two
back.
drones here, and it's a blue whale feeding at the surface. Give us some play-by-play here. If the video does execute correctly, 20 miles off the coast
Look
of
at that.
San
Look at
Diego.
that. Yeah, look at that massive. This is the largest animal that has ever been on the face of the planet, Dan. Larger than any dinosaur, larger than anything. What it's doing is it's feeding. It's a baleen whale. So it opens its mouth and it grabs all these small organisms in the ocean, and it's got like a bunch of filters in its mouth. And as the water goes through the mouth, it filters out all the food, and that's how it eats. The largest animal on the earth eats some of the smallest things on the earth. That's incredible when you think about it.
Is
That's,
it
oh, that's fantastic footage.
is it hard for that whale to find enough small things to eat daily? I would think that would be difficult to sustain the nutrients that animal needs.
Well, as long as the oceans where it's at remains healthy, no, because the ocean is full of these nutritious things, whether it be shrimp, plankton, different types of krill, all kinds of things that they're feeding on, and they get massive amounts. You imagine that mouth opens up, it's getting massive amounts that is filtering in there. So out of the open ocean, hopefully those portions of the ocean stay healthy and that animal can continue to thrive. But in order for that animal to reach the size it reaches, it's got to be getting plenty of food.
Ron, there was a 23-person study in which 100% of the tested subjects had microplastics inside their testicles. Microplastics have been found in freshly fallen snow in the Antarctic. So when I see a whale scoop up its mouth and get a bunch of tiny good things in its system, I have to assume that it's getting a bunch of tiny bad things for its system too. Have we seen any repercussions in the animal kingdom like that?
You're absolutely right. The biggest repercussions we've seen so far, of course, are birds. There are endless videos and images on the internet that'll show you birds that have died from ingesting all these plastics. All kinds of microplastics found in everything. We're finding it in sea turtles. We're finding it in so many different animals. There's no question that obviously these whales are doing the same thing. The question is, when does it get to a point when it really becomes something that affects them, their health, that can kill them? I don't know. I don't know the answer, but do we need to wait till we get there? We're looking at all the microplastics. I don't want this to be a show that's just on this gloom and doom, but it certainly is an issue, and you can see it, like I said, especially in bird life now. Birds that are dying, just their internal organs just filled with microplastics.
Speaking of gloom and doom, about 160 howler monkeys in Mexico have fallen dead because of a heat wave that's going on. What's going on with the recovery efforts right now?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure, Roy. Heat is affecting a lot of animals. There are a lot of animals that are suffering from heat stroke, and these are tropical animals. Like howler monkeys are tropical animals. I don't know what conditions they were subject to, but listen, look what's happening to people. If we didn't have the indoors, if we didn't have air conditioning, you'd have so much heat stroke going on out there. Not that we don't have it already, but it would be exponentially greater. These animals don't have those luxuries. They have to be able to adapt to these extreme heat waves that we're having. And this is just May. We don't even have the first day of summer yet. And we're having temperatures that we don't normally find until well into the summer. So it's a huge red flag for me. And, I hope all these people that for years have, denounced saying anything, no climate change, no warming, that is not happening, is all a figment of your imagination. Okay, open your flipping eyes.
Put it on the poll, please, at LeBatard Show. That's an enraged Ron Magill. Open your flippin' eyes. Put it on the poll. Have you ever said open your flippin' eyes to someone? And also, did you know that the average human consumes a credit card's worth of microplastics a week? Jeremy, what do you have for Ron Magill?
Ron, in my backyard, there's a pond, and so we have ducklings and ducks, and now also massive iguanas. And with the new baby ducklings that are there, it seems as though the iguanas don't know what ducklings are, and the ducklings don't know what iguanas are. And I'm wondering, is there any world where an invasive species, one that is not supposed to be known by the other or interact with the other, could just sort of miss the periphery of their vision and they don't understand what they're looking at?
Oh, absolutely. Understand that animals, when these ducklings hatch out, they learn every day. They're looking at something that becomes part of their norm. Now, those iguanas may, they're generally speaking, they're vegetarians, but they may get a love for eggs. They may go after duckling eggs. I wouldn't be surprised to see an iguana maybe even eat a duckling, a newly hatched duckling. But what's going to happen is they'll adapt. These ducklings will start to realize, hey, those are the enemy. We got to keep away from them. And vice versa, whether the iguanas see something of a problem with the ducks coming after them, because the female ducks will protect their ducklings. They'll charge you. They'll peck at you. They'll try to do whatever damage they can. But absolutely, these animals learn as they hatch out. It's something called imprinting, for instance. Like if you take a duck, any bird egg for that matter, and hatch it out, as soon as it hatches out, if it sees your face, that's what it thinks it is. It thinks it's a human being. It will follow you around like you're its mother, even if it sees another duck. The other duck is going to be foreign to it, because the first thing it sees when it hatches out of the egg, it imprints on. It becomes, that's what I'm supposed to be. And that's why you see these films of, people walking around, all the ducklings following them, or the guys who fly in the gliders, and you see the geese flying right next to them, because they were raised on an imprinted basis by that person. So they're following her. That's how that person teaches them how to fly and migrate. Look at the film Migration. It's a fantastic film.
I love that movie. My daughter loves it too. You're a world-renowned photographer. I just recently saw footage of a first time ever. There's been footage that has been late to arrive to the scene, but a drone captured a killer whale attacking and killing a great white shark in the moment, all used by drone footage. And I'm wondering, this is footage that really hasn't been made available to us prior to drones. You being a world-renowned photographer, how often do you find yourself using drones, and does it open up a whole new world of possibilities for you?
Absolutely. Drones are absolutely a different level of capturing moments, because first of all, most of the time those drones are not seen by the animals you're photographing. Okay, these drones are so small, can be so quiet, you can fly over areas without disturbing the animal. So you're getting a whole different perspective, but more importantly, you're able to document a behavior that's not being affected by the presence of the camera. And again, you can stay in a vehicle and you can have that drone go, thousands of yards away. The range of these drones is fantastic. So you can scope entire areas where it would take you hours to go over those areas. You can do it in minutes with a drone. You can see things happening. You can document them. I think drones are an absolutely wonderful thing as long as they're used responsibly.
Speaking,
not going up buildings to look into people's rooms and stuff.
Okay, you're anti-voyeurism, anti-crime, but you were saying vehicles and vehicles on safari. Let's check out this video of an elephant attacking what appears to be a group of tourists on safari. Tell me what you're seeing here, Ron.
Okay. Oh, yeah, this is that famous shot. I think it was in Zambia. This is a bull elephant that is challenging. He's in must there. You can see right between his ear and his eye, you see that little line of fluid coming down. His glands are draining there.
I do not see that.
Well, if you look closely, you'll see a little dark line there. Anyway, the bottom line is that male is challenging the vehicle because he thinks the vehicle is challenging it. It's not in a rage, Dan, because if it was in a rage, he would have turned that vehicle over and he would have crushed it like a loaf of bread. Basically, the guy backed off and the elephant eventually backed off. But this male elephant is in a state of physicality called must, M-U-S-T-H. And it's kind of like, I don't know how to say it. It's like when a woman is having a hormone rage and she's going crazy. Well, that's what happens to these males during must, and they want to fight everything because they're trying to battle for the privilege of being with the females. So they get very ornery, very unpredictable, and very dangerous.
Why did it take that guy so long to back off? I would have been in there like, go backwards
in reverse.
He was like holding. He was like holding his own. Like, what are you doing there, Van?
I'm good, not armchair quarterbacking this one.
I think also. In real life, Chris, what happens is you're supposed to, with elephants, stand your ground. You're supposed to stand your ground. Okay. A lot of it is bluff. This guy obviously was part bluff, part not bluff. And the guy realized, listen, he's coming at me. He's picked me up twice. I'm going to back out of here now. But I think he went through the right process. You wouldn't want to back off right away because then the elephant says, oh, he's afraid of me and I'm really going to kill him now. But if you don't back off right away, like you see that elephant, and then he backed up. The elephant said, why isn't this guy running away? He backed up. Well, let me try it again. Oh, and now basically it was a game of chicken where the guy driving the truck said, you know what? I'm not trying this again. I'm out of here.
Is it true that when elephants are in must that they have a raging headache, almost like migraine level?
I don't know because I can't talk to an elephant. I don't think we've ever done a study to put kind of sensors in their brain to find out if they're having a headache. I do know that they're incredibly ornery. They're incredibly almost angry. They're urinating all over themselves. They're draining from their gland on the side of their head. They're just not in a good mood at all. Whether the headache is causing that or whether it's just hormones. It's like hormones can make any living thing stupid.
Ron, good seeing you. Thank you, as always, for all of your contributions to the show, sir. And I will remind people, zoomiami.org/Ron Magill Conservation Endowment. It's substantive. You should donate. Thank you, sir.
Thanks, guys. Have a great week.
It is time for Stugotz to share his game notes. No one in the media will tell you what happened better than my boy Stu.
Weekend observations brought to you by Miller Lite. Great taste. Just 96 calories, available for delivery. Dan, it's one of my favorite weeks on the sports calendar. The red clay. Players sliding all over the place. The long, grueling matches. The sights. The sounds. Paris. The city of lights. And Dano, just like that, make no mistake about it, the French Open is back. You excited?
Is Nadal finished?
Well, for this tournament, yes, he's done.
But is he finished? Is it all over?
Well, I'll get to that.
We will?
Yeah,
You're usually in a big hurry to get to whether or not someone's finished.
I'll get to it here.
Oh, you're going to get to it okay.
Within weekend observations, I will get to it.
I
Yeah.
thought you were just going to get to it eventually.
We'll address it. Pacers Celtics, the rare series where a team was up late in every game and somehow still got swept. Weird series. If you saw one game of the Pacers-Celtics series, you saw them all. Fair?
Yep.
Thank you. Wow. Never agreed so quickly.
Yeah. They were all the same.
If the Celtics made Aaron Nemhard look like Luka, what do you think will happen when they actually have to play Luka? Luka's not going to win a title. I mean, come on. C's, right? Historical team that no one's giving credit to. It can't be Luka.
Be kind of great if it was, though. A surprise NBA champion? Get out of here.
I don't think I don't know. Is it a surprise?
Stugotz, you're not allowed after
Luka and Kyrie.
Stugotz, but at no point, and in any point in the last 3 years, have you said that you thought the Dallas Mavericks were a champion.
You're right.
You're not
Never
allowed
said
to
it,
now
never-
say that you're not surprised.
But they're close. I could do what I want.
I mean, but that's not true. You can't say you're not surprised.
You're right. Southampton promoted. You know where the Saints are marching, Dano?
Are they marching in?
Right back to the Premier League.
I couldn't have guessed that one. It was a dumb question.
Well, he said that they won promotion.
Yeah. Hey, media, you should be embarrassed for how quickly you crowned Anthony Edwards. Anybody who even thought to compare him to Michael Jordan should get their credentials revoked, making a mockery of our business. It's embarrassing. It really is. Ant Edwards. More like Ain't Edwards, as in Ain't Michael Jordan. Seriously. Manchester City. Dude in the FA Cup final. Oilers Stars. Nothing like a Canadian team going up against an American team so we get a battle of national anthems. I love that. I do. I love O Canada. Is it bad to say I like their anthem better than our anthem? It's not.
Well, they had the entire
Wow.
crowd singing it, though.
Yes, yesterday you can't say it. Today, I don't know. Too soon? Too soon.
It's a great anthem, though.
Put it on the poll, Juju, at LeBatardShow. Do you love the Canadian anthem better than any other anthem?
Before a hockey ref can call an embellishment penalty, they should have to get cross-checked in the back to see how they would react.
I like that.
That was awesome last night. How do you not embellish when you get cross-checked in the back? They didn't. They said embellishing. Well, if it's embellishing, then it's not a cross-check. You look at the replay. No, proper cross-check to the lower spine.
Stash this away in the Something to Ponder file. Only 4 teams in the National League have winning records. Is nobody good, or is everybody good? No need to discuss now. Stash it away for a rainy day. Death, taxes, and speed traps on Memorial Day. Top 5 athletes that connote a traffic violation. OLI.
This is exciting.
Trooper Taylor. Running cop. Number 5. Speedy Claxton. Number 4. Lawyer Malloy. Number 3. Kyron the Siren Williams. Number 2. Jim Crash Jensen. And number 1. Jay Walker.
Entering yesterday, I believe the Dodgers had lost 5 straight, and they increased their lead on the division.
Amazing. They have no business losing 5 straight with that team. Serious. Embarrassing.
Who is Jay Walker? I don't know who that is.
Listen, I Googled Jay Walker, and there was one. And he was an athlete. I mean,
okay, but
that's all that matters.
Okay,
I got my guy.
But you weren't able to retain anything after that?
Or it could be Jason Walker. You just shortened it to
No,
Jay.
it was Jay Walker. I was very excited when I got Jay Walker. Baseball player, I think.
You don't know?
Jay Walker.
Yeah, you mentioned that.
Speaking of Jays, here comes Toronto.
7th round draft pick by the 1994 New England Patriots.
Bingo. That's
Played
the guy.
4 seasons.
That's the baseball player?
Oh, he's a Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference Hall of Famer. 2018. MIAC.
It's a weird one.
Did you just look up Jay Walker? Like, how did never mind.
I was right. Apologize. Ed Werder is out at ESPN, but good news. He's still living at AT&T Stadium.
Is he really out?
Yep.
Yeah, he's out.
26
No,
years.
Yeah,
not
he's
again.
out.
I can't take this again.
He's out.
Again,
out.
twice they've gotten Ed Werder.
Yeah. Karl Anthony Towns saying he's getting up 1,500 shots a day. Hey, Karl, number 1, you're not. Number 2, you're shooting 13% from 3 this series. Maybe work on getting in the paint. Seriously, take a shot closer. You got to see one go in, Dan. You know what I'm saying? Then you go back to the 3. You know what they say about the numbers, right, Dan? They never lie. Rangers-Panthers, the rare series where one team is dominated for 95% of the series, but is down 2-1.
It's frustrating.
It is. If the Panthers can't win with this team, it's time for the question. If not now, when? Fair?
Roy's not worried.
No, I'm not. I'm not worried at all.
At all, dude.
No, not at all.
What if they go up
It's a lie.
1-0 tonight?
I mean, you're
Then
lying.
I'll be concerned a little bit more.
So 1 goal is the difference?
1 goal.
One goal.
Yeah.
It was
But you're
it was the night before.
But you're speaking with such bravado that it doesn't seem to be hinging on 1 goal, like you just admitted.
But if they allow a goal in the first 10 seconds tonight, then you're going to immediately be afraid.
I mean,
No.
first 10 seconds, who wouldn't be?
No. We got 3 periods to play, man. Come on.
If I'm at a hockey game and somebody scores a hat trick, I'm not certain I'm throwing my hat on the ice.
Oh, I'm not.
I paid for that thing.
I'm not.
A hattie.
I paid all this money for this cap. I'm not doing that.
Plus, it's so hard to get it over the net.
I
now.
know.
Yeah.
It depends on your seat.
Yep.
What am I going to do? Throw it to the first row so someone can be like, hey,
Thank
look
you.
at this hat.
Yep.
Mine now. No thanks.
Begs the question, what do teams do with the hat trick hats?
I believe they give them away to
My hats?
entities
What?
that would.
they
I didn't
ever-
give them permission.
You think they ever slap a sticker
What
on
happened
it
there?
and it goes right back to retail?
No.
A used cap.
It's generally like the drunk. I feel like you're more likely to throw a hat if you're drunk and sweaty.
Definitely.
Those hats are
Yes.
probably not the cleanest of the group.
Employees must love that. Like, oh, it's free hat day at work tomorrow.
Rangers are 2-0 since they started dressing Matt Rempe. He sets the tone. The Rempire State Building. Such a great nickname. The Mets are 22-30 with the top payroll in baseball. I hate them. Another day, another blown save by Edwin Diaz. The Mets paid $102 million for a mid-5 ERA. They should replace Edwin Diaz's trumpets with a sad trombone. The things you do driving around North Carolina on a gummy in the passenger seat. Top 5 songs Edwin Diaz should come out to. Number 5, Loser, Grateful Dead. Number 4, Cough It Up, Goose. Number 3, Here we go again. David Guetta and Oliver Tree.
Who's got the more famous Losers song? Is it Grateful Dead or Beck? Which is the more famous?
I won't even entertain that question.
Well, what
It's
is
Beck.
Neither will I. It's Beck.
Yeah, it's
It's
back.
Beck.
Wow, get out of here.
Beck.
For sure.
Bill Walton is rolling over in his grave. I mean,
How about these?
Too soon?
How about these? Yes, too soon.
I don't think he's in one yet.
miss you, Bill.
How about these horns for Edwin Diaz?
Number 2, Groundhog's Day. It's a song. Look it up.
Groundhog.
Ern
is plural?
Bellhold. Yeah. And number 1, Choke. Great band. I don't know how they found me.
Is it just one groundhog?
It is
and
a
it's
single.
possessive?
Yes, but I don't want to make fun of him. Old age puts S's on things.
It's Groundhog's Day.
It's only one groundhog.
I'm telling you, it's Groundhog's Day.
Groundhog Day.
I mean, yell at Ern. Don't yell at me.
Okay.
Put it on the poll at LeBatard Show. Groundhog Day or Groundshog Day?
That gummy I took over the weekend was called Valhalla. Dangerous game.
Not if you're a golfer.
40 milligrams.
No one seems to like that course.
Angel Hernandez is retiring. One might say it's the first good call he's ever made. We're going to miss that guy.
I really do want to have a contest where we come up with someone who can top Angel Hernandez for sustained incompetence across decades. Like sustained, historic, rewarded incompetence.
Mark
Me.
Emmert. Oh. You and Mark Emmert.
Thank you. I'm in the conversation.
Put it on the poll, please, Juju. Most incompetent. Stugotz, Mark Emmert,
Well, thank you.
Angel Hernandez.
The Detroit Lions.
How unlikable is Boston? Where the nation is rooting for and rallying behind Kyrie Irving. And think about it.
We will reinvent everything we've said about Kyrie Irving just to make him a winner. We want him so badly to win.
Blake Snell getting paid $31 million a year to go 0-3 with a 10.42 ERA.
He was so good last year.
He should tow the slab with a ski mask on.
He was so good last year. Impossibly good.
Ski mask. Anyway,
Toe the slab.
Dan, you know what the H in Al Horford stands for?
Put it on the poll, Juju.
Hall of Famer.
Have you ever used the phrase toe the slab?
BC women's lacrosse goalie, Shea Dolce. Credit where credit is due. Save of a lifetime. Mike saw it. The save of a lifetime. Amazing. Great job by her. Cost my kid a ring.
Thought Izzy Skane had it.
Oh, Izzy Skane. What a great career. Tip of the cap. I'm going to tip it right now. Izzy Skane. Tip of the cap.
No, that's hats off. Like,
I'm not throwing my
tip of the
hat.
cap.
Yeah,
is
tip
you're
is
actually
just-
You're right,
doing this
tip.
with the
Sorry
bill of the
about
cap.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah. In this week's edition of May, Dan Orlovsky says Jaguars quarterback Trevor Lawrence is not a top 12 quarterback, and Pro Football Focus snubbed Baker Mayfield on their list of NFC top quarterbacks. I can't speak, man. The sphere.
Valhalla.
Groundhog's Day.
40 milligrams.
40.
I said 40.
Wow. Christ.
I didn't read the label.
Good God.
That can't be true.
Valhalla.
It can be true.
I think it's
Dangerous
true.
game.
It would make sense for that to be the only true thing Stugotz has ever said.
40 MGs.
That's unbelievable.
Let's talk after the show.
Lucy is looking
I
at
can't.
you just floored. Her mouth is hanging open. Yes, he can't. He's sedated. It's an elephant tranquilizer.
The amount of sweet Thai Doritos that I'd put down after that.
Oh, my God. If I'm the Dodgers, Shohei Ohtani never pitches again. Nothing is more Notre Dame than their men's lacrosse team having their two best players be brothers with the last name Kavanaugh. Those guys. I mean, they're good, but they're Notre Dame. The Kavanaugh brothers. The rare NBA playoffs that get more boring with each passing round. You missed the Knicks? The R in Rafael Nadal stands for retire. Retire! I said it. I addressed it.
You did. As promised.
You agree?
I mean, I let people retire when they'd like to.
Really?
Yeah, I don't want anyone telling me when I should retire.
Okay. Can I retire?
We're going to stop paying you.
Oh, you are? I'm out of here.
I think we have like a police department pension program here.
I'll
It's
take
individualized. It's your 401k.
it. I'm good. Huh. The Pacers' best player is T.J. McConnell, and it feels like the only person who doesn't know it is Rick Carlisle. Also, getting to the Eastern Conference Finals with T.J. McConnell as your best player might be one of the greatest coaching jobs in NBA history.
That's what everyone's saying. Wow, what a great coach, Rick Carlisle.
Scottie Pippen said he never won Defensive Player of the Year because everyone was always looking at Michael Jordan. Scottie, I'm serious. For the love of God, just let it go. I mean, Jordan made him. Bill Walton passes away, and suddenly everyone's a Grateful Dead fan. Enough.
He's been mad about this
Enough.
all day.
Enough.
All day he's been mad at
Bill,
this.
I went to a show with him. Oh, Bill got me tickets to this. Oh, I went to the dead. You know what? If you didn't talk about it when it actually happened, it didn't happen in my personal record book. StugottsBook.com. How about that? It's doing very well, by the way. Thank you to everyone who wrote it. The Mavericks currently have Rudy Gobert, the four-time Defensive Player of the Year, in hell trying to guard them. I can't speak. Valhalla,
Yeah.
40 milligrams,
40 milligrams.
the Sphere.
Yeah.
Speaking of
They
speak,
just added more dates.
Yes.
Speaking of hell,
Yes.
Art Briles, Dan, those are the weekend observations. I'm retiring.
You asked me during weekend observations if I missed the Knicks. I do not, but I do miss our radio station WFAT, which I think we should still be doing for the Rangers and perhaps for the Mets as well. We should resuscitate WFAT just because of how sad the Mets are making all the people of New York. Do we have some sad broadcaster sound we could play for the audience to explain how terrible it is to pay so much money for a team that stinks?
A 3-run triple for Mike Yastrzemski makes it 7-2 San Francisco.
Yes.
And the Giants have scored 5 times in the 10th. Fastball belt high out over the plate. Just couldn't get there. Boy, oh boy. Feels like the sky is falling. It has felt like that virtually every day for the last month.
So good.
Hey, put it on the poll at LeBatardShow. Has it felt like the sky is falling virtually every day for the last month?
Looking at those highlights, it seemed like plenty of good seats were available.
Yep.
And I can
because
only
they are.
imagine the flash deals that would be available on the Game Time app. I use a Game Time app, and I use a promo code Dan recently for tickets to tonight's game. Panthers, Rangers. By the way, Panthers, I know a lot of you season ticket holders are probably listing your tickets on Game Time. You made a decision, and I'm not in agreement with it, even though Game Time is a phenomenal app for buyer and seller. Panther fans, you got to hold on to those season tickets. But let's just say you're a Ranger fan in town, wanting to take advantage of a few bad decision makers. Well, then, let me tell you, Game Time is the place for you. Download the app, create an account, use code DAN, that is DAN, for your first purchase. Terms apply. Last-minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed.
We talked last week, Stugotz, to an expert, somebody who really knows the machinations of what it is that a lot of people are not presently paying attention to that is happening with the NCAA and the settlement that is a way to trick people into thinking that we're arriving at fairness when all we're doing is splitting up some money that these players have deserved for a long time in a way that's not actually fair, but short term allows people to get away with stuff. Lucy, I know you're fascinated by everything that's happening here with the NCAA because they're making up the rules as they go along. They have to figure out a way to get people money, and they're doing it with a settlement that I believe is short-sighted to accept.
Yeah, so my understanding of this settlement is that the NCAA is paying a crap ton of money back to athletes who were not able to profit off of their name, image, and likeness, like during the pre-2020 period.
So all of them.
Yeah, pretty much all of them, but not like past a certain year. So like I don't know if Johnny Manziel is going to be able to get money for not being able to do that. It seems like it's just during that brief time frame. Also at the same time, this is now the same ruling has made it so that schools can pay their players directly. And so there's still like a lot of moving pieces with that because you have to factor in Title IX. Basically, from my understanding of this, we are at the weirdest spot where we have commissioners of conferences begging the government to get involved. That is where we are. That's a bad spot to be.
And you have a lot of career politicians that were all for states' rights, but now all of a sudden see the need for federal intervention, which is funny to me, Ted Cruz. But right now, the revenue split that is just settled is 22%. Not for football, for all college athletes. And the rest of the money goes to the administrators to keep these other sports going and to keep those salaries big and juicy. Now, some of this plan I really do like. It did consider things like Title IX. And the United States, believe it or not, is one of the few governments that doesn't directly fund its Olympic programs. So that's part of the rationalization here. You all of a sudden get Olympic sport funding, and it goes into the pockets of some of the athletes. What is bad about this is they're looking for government to give them safe harbor status, whereas NIL could actually seem like a good supplement to this. Look, you get this average amount of money, but we can actually come above that for those that are most worthy of capitalizing on their name, image, and likeness. You're all of a sudden going to hand over an entity that has caught L after L after L after L in the courts trying to undo this. You're going to grant them autonomy to set the rules for it. They want to do away with collectives, and they want to hop in a time machine, only this time with more power and with no government interference. We cannot let that part happen.
This is why they accepted paying out all this money, is because they know if we have to go to court for anything else, we are going to lose. And part of the settlement agreement was dismissing a couple open court cases. The whole thing is weird. The NCAA just it's not a governing body anymore, and this is a desperate grasp for power to become that again.
Most sports fans, though, are going to gloss over the details on this and just say $2 billion?
Yeah,
What?
it's being positioned as a win, which you can't say that it's not a win. Where there was zero money, there is now money. But you also don't want to sacrifice those short-term gains for longer-term success. If they do away with collectives and all of a sudden you add more bureaucracy and more ambiguity to something that's already kind of confusing in NIL now, you're going to limit the amount of money because the marketplace is going to shrink. So ultimately, in the long run, especially for athletes that are getting into it now, I'm not talking about the ones that preceded them, athletes getting into it now, they're going to look back 2 and 3 years behind and say, why didn't I have it that good?
More Ted Cruz is what we want with sports, right? I think we can all agree on that one. I think if we can find one consensus in a divided America, it's that we all want Ted Cruz in charge of more things that involve him having power.
Greetings.
Bet your Roy doesn't like Rudy Gobert.
Greetings.
Guarantee.
He is an interesting individual.
Yeah, thank you, Roy.
That was interesting. He said he was interesting. He said he didn't dislike. He didn't say he disliked them. I don't see Roy Wood saying publicly that he dislikes a whole lot of people he doesn't know.
Interesting is code for I don't like that guy.
All right.
I'm just saying.
Is it code?
I need to meet him. I need more information. That's what I'm saying. Because until I meet you, it's hard for me to size you up when all I know about you is what you do at your job. Because we're all gonna have bad days at the job. Just his or in front of millions of people, and some days he does his job really well, and then other days it's terrible.
Can you tell us more about your jacket collection, please? The last time you were on with us, it was an old school Expos jacket. So this is an old school Cubs jacket. How many of these do you have?
I probably own, of these types of jackets, I'd say about 15 of varying teams, predominantly Cubs, but old Cooperstown collection type stuff. I wear it proud now because I'm 45. This jacket would get you killed in 87. You couldn't wear no stuff like this back in the day. They snatched this right off your back or put a bullet in your head. So now, like, that's what adulthood is. It's just wearing all the stuff and buying all the stuff you couldn't buy when you were younger. Now I'm grown.
He's only got 3 shows left on his Happy to Be Here tour. I suggest this Sunday, Bloomington, Indiana, June 21st, St. Louis, June 22nd in his beloved Chicago. You could get tickets at roywoodjr.com. And he's also the host of a new 4-part podcast that launches today from NPR. It's Road to Rickwood. It's the oldest professional baseball stadium in the country. It's deep ties to the Negro Leagues, to the civil rights movement. Roy, I always like when you bring your excellence and your illumination to sports. Why did this project call you?
One, it's the field where I played my high school. It's the field where I rode the bench in high school. So it's near and dear to my heart. But also, Rickwood Field is so connected to baseball and the history of the sport. And it's a 4-part series. You know, MLB is doing a tribute to the Negro Leagues game on June 20th. And so leading up to that game, you know, the folks at NPR and MLB, they reached out. They thought it would be cool to like really dig into the story of 100+ years of baseball at that particular venue and how it connects to who we are as a people today. And I'm like, yo, it's a chance to go home for free and not stay at my mama's house. Yes, I will take your hotel per diem, Major League Baseball.
Okay.
And I'll sit down and, we talked with old major leaguers, old Birmingham Black Barons. Man, you know, I got to give a shout out to Bill Greason. I got to give a shout out to Al Holt. So many people who just talked about playing there with Willie Mays and Satchel Paige, and Babe Ruth came through. Reggie Jackson came through. So many people over the decades have set foot in that Birmingham Park. And it's just a cool story to tell, man. You know, to be able to honor the Negro Leagues in this way is my way of paying back to a game that I suck at, but I love.
You are someone of an age that you respect what Mike Tyson was. He is a betting underdog against Jake Paul. He had a big medical scare on a cross-country flight on Sunday. He presently looks like this, Roy. We showed him recently walking with a cane, TMZ.
Got him in that airport wheelchair. Got my man in that pre-boarding chair.
Yeah, and it doesn't look like he's ready to fight a sanctioned fight.
For me, it's the tennis outfit.
Yes, it's the whole thing. But what do you think here of all of this, Roy?
Dan, I know that I'm here on this segment to give you my guaranteed for sure, kind of, sort of, almost, whatever we've titled this segment, pick of the week, but I'm going to give you 2. We're going to start with Mike Tyson. What I figured out in a couple of weeks with you, Dan LeBatard, is that history tells us with sports what's going to happen in the present. So what do we have right now? We have a president in legal crisis, former president, right? In legal crisis.
Yes.
In Donald Trump.
That's correct.
Okay. 1987, Iran-Contra hearings. Old Ronald Reagan got himself in a little hot water. You know who won a fight in 1987? Mike Tyson. 1999, Bill Clinton impeachment, acquittal. You know who won a fight in 1999? Mike Tyson. So now I give you here 2024.
This seems flimsy. This seems flimsy.
Especially since 2 of them were like sitting presidents.
I picked the Dallas Mavericks correctly. You will respect my research.
Yep. You did. You told everyone to bet the house on the Mavs to make the finals.
Mike Tyson in 4 rounds.
Oh, wow.
And I don't care.
Wow.
And I don't care if he's in this weird pre-boarding chair and he gets to get on the plane first. Mike Tyson, 4 rounds. History says so. I don't know what round he won. I don't know how he beat Burbick in 99, and he beat some no-name in 87. But my point is,
Burbick was the first round in the Bahamas. He beat his ass.
Okay. You're just making this more solid. You're making this more solid. A president was in trouble in 87, Tyson won. A president was in trouble in 99, Tyson won. A president is in trouble in 2024.
You got it.
These are guaranteed. These are kind of, don't say guaranteed because legal, but these are, I'm pretty, exactly. Probably going to happen.
That's right. It's as close to a guarantee as you can get without getting in trouble with legal. You were in Dallas recently. Can you tell me your appraisal of Kyrie Irving? He is.
Yeah. I really think that, the Mavericks, here's the thing about Dallas as a city. This is the other thing we have to think about. When Kyrie is playing in a boring place, he's better. Cleveland, love you. Not a lot to do downtown after 10 p.m. Not a lot of mischief in Cleveland. Boston, it's a lot of mischief. Dallas is the perfect mixture. Dallas has places to go, but Dallas also, you've been to Texas, it's long stretches of nothingness. So you get to think and focus and just look about and think about basketball. It ain't like Brooklyn. Brooklyn is chaos. When you played in Brooklyn, it's chaos because there's too much to do in New York City. Dallas, you take your ass to Whataburger, and then you go and you shoot jumpers with Luka. And then you hit the strip club on the weekend. Dallas is like, it's like Atlanta, but everything's spread out, so you can't get in much trouble because it's a long drive. That's the beauty of Dallas. That's why I said, why do you think the Dallas Stars balling out in hockey?
Is that
right.
why? Is he right about that?
Yes.
That's why?
Yes.
Okay.
You can only, the good strippers only come to Dallas on the weekend. So you can't get in trouble during the weekdays. Brooklyn is around the clock. Atlanta's around the clock. Why do you think Atlanta ain't got no champions in a long ass time? It's too many strippers.
Well, that's I've heard that theory thrown out before, actually, that you can get into too much trouble in Atlanta. How about the Trump trial? It is closing arguments today. The jury could reach a verdict as soon as tomorrow. You told us last time you were on with us that nobody cared, but we did make fun of all of the courtroom artists. Do you have any insight for us today on the Trump trial?
Not too much more on the Trump trial other than look at that. It just looks like he's drooling out of his mouth. Like it's not even, we cannot have these courtroom sketch artists anymore. I'm sorry, LeBatard. I don't want to be, I'm not here to hate on anybody's industry, but if there's ever an industry where we could kind of give this job to AI and be the courtroom sketch artist. Did you hear about Submarine Man? We're going to do Submarine again.
Wait a minute. I saw this in the New York Post. Are you talking about the Ocean Gate explosion, the Ohio billionaire who's going to take a $20 million sub down to the Titanic site?
Yeah, to prove to us that the submarine industry is safe. Who are you proving it to? Nobody's lining up to take the deep 2-mile Marinara trench ride. When we said submarines are safe, I wanted to see some dolphins off the coast of Cancun. Show me the dolphins at 20 feet, you bitch, and then I can swim up and get to leaking.
Submarines are not safe. No, I'm with you on this. Submarines cannot be described as safe under any conditions.
I'm torn about this billionaire, though, because generally speaking, I like when billionaires go and explore stuff because it just means that they're not somewhere doing something sinister. Like, I appreciate billionaires who just trying to go somewhere. Take your ass out of there then. Leave the money, but take your ass on over there. But this billionaire, like, everybody's kind of rooting for him to die and, oh, you're going to die. He made his money in real estate. He's a landlord of a bunch of luxury apartments, and that's how he made his bread. But he has programs set up for rent for low-income people. He sets up low-income housing. So there's parts of his portfolio that are very, very benevolent, and I kind of don't want to see this dude die at the bottom of the ocean.
But
if we're talking NBA Finals, we need him to die. So
what?
If he goes down this year, preferably before the finals get started, if this new billionaire goes down in that submarine, bet the Dallas Mavericks all the way, 5 games over Boston. Last year, we had a billionaire go down in a submarine and die. Who was the NBA champions? A white dude from a country where people don't smile, and a black dude.
Wait a minute.
Tell him, Roy.
Of the two teams, you let me finish, LeBatard. Of the 2 teams in the finals this year, which team has a white dude from a country where people don't smile and a black dude?
Well, is it because Porzingis is injured? He doesn't count as being a white dude from a country.
He's not P1. Porzingis is the second option off the dribble. No disrespect. He's not. His picture ain't on the ticket when you buy a ticket to the game. It ain't Porzingis doing a layup. It's Luka. Luka, Kyrie, foreign white man from a smileless country with black man, guaranteed back-to-back years.
There it is.
Don't listen to me. Listen to history.
RoyWoodJr.com is where you get the tickets. It's his bona fide, surefire, guaranteed, sort of guaranteed pick
If
up
the
the
billionaire dies, if he dies.
See you later, Roy.
He has to die. That's the important.
See you later.
All right.
See you later. See you later. Chris Cody, by way of welcome to Juju Gotti here, said that something is missing. He doesn't know what it is on Jason Tatum, but there's something missing. And Juju, you've just seen your Celtics get to the finals. Jason Tatum has had a remarkable amount of success for his age. It feels like we have put a crazy standard on this Celtics team that we are reluctant to confer greatness on because other players keep getting hurt, and they're not doing that to those players, but they're getting no credit for beating teams that are injured. You're a Celtics fan. How are you feeling about everything? You have rolled to the finals. Very few teams have ever had it this easy. Zach Lowe is saying the Celtics got a bye to the finals. Are you afraid of Luka? You'd rather play the young players than Luka and Kyrie, right? You'd feel safer against Minnesota than you do against Dallas, yes?
Nah, I actually feel the opposite. I think we'll have an easier time with Luka and Kyrie and them boys than Minnesota, even though they, of course, are up 3-0 right now. But, yeah, man, whatever happens right now, as long as the Pacers didn't go, I'm a happy camper because everybody knows how much I love Ant-Man, and I love Kyrie Irving as well, so I don't have the heartbreak down the line like recent years, and that's the scariest thing. Having the Miami Heat be the people in your right here, that's, I hate that. And the New York Knicks right here in your shit, just bing bong. It's just that now that's over with, I am cool. So whatever happens, I'm with it.
Oh, wow. Okay, so the hot breath of Knicks fans and Heat fans, the fact that you get to avoid their hot breath in your face, that you get to avoid T.J. McConnell and the Pacers advancing, you're already golden. It doesn't even matter what happens from here.
I'm golden, baby. I love Ant-Man. I love Kyrie Irving. I'm golden. But I'm a Celtics fan. Let's just put it that way. I'm going to stick to the guns. Like, when it comes to Jason Tatum, we saw flashes and glimpses of what I've been wanting to see from them. Take that ball to the hole. If Andrew Nembhard is guarding you and you don't take the ball to the hole, you're coming to the bench. If I'm Coach Mazzulla, if T.J. McConnell is on you and you don't take him to the hole, come sit by me. And that's the kind of mentality that Jaylen Brown discovered. And I still saw a lot of fadeaway three-pointers from Jason Tatum and a couple of missed layups, but at the same time, he's putting a better effort towards getting to the rack than I usually see from him, and that's what's going to make the difference.
You're benching Tatum, Juju? You're benching.
I'm benching anybody. Al Horford. If Nembhard is on you and you don't take his ass to the rack, come sit by me. That's the coaching I'm looking for. Sam Cassell would have said that.
What do we have in terms of criticism and commentary on today's show? I didn't think we did enough. I felt that Stugotz was in a little bit of pain because he lost this weekend the championship by 1 goal. He cares deeply about everything going on with Northwestern and his daughter, and I felt like it was too raw for him to make as much fun of him as I'd usually make when one of your sports friends is in pain.
Yeah, he was raw. They were so raw that y'all didn't even get to the WNBA. Angel Reese hard foul. She had a situation with Alyssa Thomas, 2 hard fouls back to back. Caitlin still being Caitlin. Lisa Bluter came to see her. Meg Gustafson and Kate Martin play against the Vegas Aces. It was a celebration, even though the Aces spanked that behind. Y'all didn't get to a lot of stuff, but as far as the audience,
well, before you do this, let's talk about the Angel Reese thing, because we did mean to talk about this because. Those were really hard fouls, and we've got some sound here from Angel Reese reacting to what it is that happened to her, because it didn't seem clean.
Right.
It's not just because I'm a rookie, I'm a player. I'm a basketball player. They don't give a damn if I'm a rookie. I want them to come at me every day. I want them to come at everybody. They're not supposed to be nice to me. I hope y'all know that. They're not supposed to be nice to me or lay down because I'm Angel Reese or because I'm a rookie. Thank you, AT, for sending the message to me, because I got back up and I kept going and kept pushing. Me and AT have been cool since we were in Maryland, so I know it's not no hard feelings, and I appreciate her for going at me every day. Or today.
That's a pretty uncommon grace under those circumstances.
Brilliance. Oh, my God. The young sister, I couldn't have put it no better myself, dog. What y'all expect? This competition. Do you not expect Anthony Edwards to not want to behead Kevin Durant in the playoffs? Do you want him to just be like, you're my idol and it's all good? No, the sister understands where she's at and still respects her league mate and keeps respecting her name. What you supposed to do? Nah, file me hard so I can take you to the rack next time I see you, because I can circle that date on my calendar and make that a bigger deal. Ain't no crying over here. Ain't no crying in baseball, neither women's basketball.
And then Caitlin gets her first win, and she just seems sad afterwards. Did you see that sound where she's just like, this isn't very fun for me so far?
Look, sis tired, bro. She got a camera in her face every 2 seconds. She allowed to be tired, exhausted. You know what I mean? And she's young. She from Middle America, going through all this stuff, these expectations and all these deals. She probably just all she want to do is hoop. But she got this company in her face trying to sell this company over here. So, bro, the sister tired more, in my opinion. If I had to guess, the sister is just tired.
Tired of not being normal, right? She has said she craves just having some activities outside of her house where it is that she could be normal. Before you get to the commentary and the critique of today's listeners, though, I want to just put on the screen for you, Juju, an assortment of photos of Luka standing over defeated opponents here. Which is your favorite from among this montage? You're not going to like the Anthony Edwards one because you're too much of a fan of Edwards. The Devin Booker one, the Devin Booker one is the best one, but the Harden one's pretty good too.
Yeah. Devin Booker was the classic. It jumped everything off. It's like the dog in the other car looking at the dog in this car that's petrified. And the James Harden one, it's some psychopath. I can see some psychopath in Luka's eyes right there. That's what makes it delicious. Like, oh, yeah. And it's like James didn't know what was coming at him. He was like, huh? He's like, yo, oh, yeah, I come to get you with this meme. That's what I come to do.
And Anthony Edwards looks like, yeah, keep talking. I got you.
Right.
You're on my list is the way Ant looks.
Right, it's most sad because Ant-Man had that meme of him in the movie, Adam Sandler movie, doing that same exact thing to the player. So yeah, that one hurts.
That's that's Uncut Gems. Is that what that was?
Nah, what's the basketball movie? I forgot the name of it.
Well,
dang, I can't believe that.
I mean, Uncut Gems is a basketball movie. It's
another
movie.
He was Rudy Hernandez or what?
Hustle.
Yeah,
Hustle.
The movie
Yes.
called Hustle. Yeah, salute the Hustle.
My bad. So what else you got here? Critique from the audience here.
Critique from the audience. Anthony Ortiz says Jeremy looks like an undercover cop.
He definitely did today. The other room just erupted in laughter after that.
So look, man, y'all gotta back off my dog, bro. Y'all look, Chris too. You got look. Like, I'm glad we're here. We got split. The room was split on when you cut Jeremy off. It was like he was getting to the Heat homer. I don't know, brother. You might need to let him criminally put himself in that position first before you cut him off.
I may have projected.
You stopped him. Right.
Let him commit the crime. You arrested him while he was still thinking about committing the crime.
The look on Dan's face when Jeremy goes for more than 30 seconds, I felt like I needed to get in there.
You was like a time cop, bro. You was Tom Cruise on Minority Report. You can't arrest me if I didn't do it. I know you got the predictor, so don't do that. And Wayne W. also says, today Chris looks extra baked for some reason. I don't know if you hit the pen
I'm
or
just
something
sleepy,
today.
dude. Everyone does this to me. I smoke weed, but not before work. Okay, I'm never high before work. I'm just sleepy.
I think what you had on you was Sunday's Panther game. I'm telling you, everyone is sleeping on how much that one hurt you guys.
I'm not sleeping on it. Roy can hide it all he wants. That's as despondent as I've been walking out of that arena. Just feeling like we should have won that game. When we get to overtime, we already lost the game with all the chances we had. That was brutal.
So many opportunities.
Keeping it with Roy, Thomas MIA says, listening back to the show from Thursday and Friday, Roy absolutely jinxed the Panthers. All that confidence looks terrible on you, Roy, nowadays.
Not just Roy. Let's put up that photo again of Chris Cody, please, that Mike Fuentes
we don't have to.
betrayed Chris Cody on, because it's not just Roy who has jinxed the Panthers. Chris Cody took a photo over New York in which he was doing
they can't find it. Damn.
The Don Bailey carpet ad commercial here locally. You are That is a bit of a sensual pose.
Mike Ryan made me do like a fashion show. He's like, just work it. I also did like a heart symbol too. It was weird.
He tell you to sprawl out like that.
The kicks, actually, I was trying to get the kicks
sprawl.
in the photo, but of course they're cut off here. But
Man, brother, and it hurt me too, bro. I was watching that game as well, overtime. Once you get to overtime, it's pins and needles. And I saw them score, and then my heart just,
dude.
Salute. Tonight, though, World War 5.
We're back. I mean? You're right. You know what? Good speech by you, Juju. We're back.
World War 4, 5? What's he saying? It's 5? I don't know. Which would it be? Doesn't matter.
Whatever number it is. The Panthers and the Lightning, I don't know. I can't keep a rings minus in my
Wow,
in my
I do look baked.
AJ, Mr. Love Living, he says, champion, an All-NBA player, and 8-time All-Star has been an utter disappointment. I can read this better. A champion, an All-NBA player, and an 8-time All-Star is an utter
Try it again.
Disappointment.
Let's do it again.
Right.
Let's do it one more time.
Leaving it all in.
Let's do it again.
Leave it all in. Champion, All-NBA player, 8-time All-Star, has been an utter disappointment his entire career. LMFAO, Stugotz, shut up. And that's what he had to say on Stugotz's rant against Kyrie Irving for some reason.
Nailed it.
Right. I mean, I don't know what Stugotz up to. I think it's people out there, no matter what. Like, no matter what Kyrie does for the rest of his life, if you feel a certain way about certain things he's done, it ain't gonna never get no better for you. You feel me? And I understand that. And it's the same way about Colin Kaepernick and all these folks. Because right now, if you can't look at the game and see 33 from Luka, 33 from Kyrie, and salute that, if you lead with any other thing, you don't like that man anyway. So you shouldn't even be commenting, in my opinion, objectively.
That was some quality hating by Stugotz to just dismiss Kyrie, to choose today to dismiss Kyrie Irving after what he's done in that series is unspeakably unfair and maximum Stugotz. But it's projection because he's angry about the weekend. Like his daughter, they had a 6-goal lead. They started 6-0 and they lost by a goal.
Not that big lead in that sport.
That's right. That's what he said. Thank you, Juju. Good talking to you.
Yes, sir.
Good stuff, Juju.